Welcome to the show, everyone. It is the Crooked Commish here at the Clubhouse, and we are ready to go here with the Bears versus Cardinals game. Welcome to the Chicago Clubhouse, and later on, I'll be bringing in my other co-host here, Coach Chef and Amp. And once they get here, we will go ahead and bring them on. But until then, you guys are stuck with me, and I am excited about this game. It is a big game for the Bears. Maybe it's a must-win. It feels like it's a must-win, even though it's like halfway through the season. It shouldn't be a must-win. But if the Bears are really trying to make the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I hope we can win a game too, Jim. I really do. I hope we can win this game especially. Like I said, the Bears, not only do they need to win this game to kind of keep pace with everybody else in the division, it's a big win for the Bears if they can get this win over the Cardinals. With playoffs, as far as when it comes to the last playoff spot, us beating the Cardinals, we're going to need that to have that over them if we have a tie record or whatnot for tiebreaker's sake. So not to mention common opponents within our division as well. If we're tied with anybody, in our division, same record wise, we're going to need that edge there as far as, having the most wins against common opponents. Granted, that means we need the Cardinals to beat the other teams in our division as well, so we can kind of have that edge over them. But regardless, the Cardinals are going to be one of those teams that are going to be fighting for a playoff spot towards the end of the year. They're going to be either fighting for that 6th seed or the 7th seed, and possibly even the division if they keep winning. They're kind of keeping pace with Seattle. And I hope the Bears don't overlook the Cardinals here in this game. Cardinals are a scrappy team. They do not go down easy at all. Pause. But the last few games, they have had comeback wins and stuff. So we can't feel comfortable in thinking, hey, we're up 10 points on these guys. They're going to, roll over and play dead now. Nah. These Cardinals, they are scrappy. Like I said, they like to fight back. They stay in these games. They have a decent amount of weapons with them as well. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been having a decent season. Wouldn't say it's been a rookie of the year type of season, but he's shown flashes for sure. He's had his moments where he's had some big games for the Cardinals. So I think he's at least shown at the very least that he can be a proven commodity going forward. So, and be a reliable weapon for the little man, Kyler Murray. So, and as little as he is, he's still pretty quick. So the Bears are going to have their hands full trying to contain him, making sure he doesn't get out of the pocket and, get around the edges and stuff. So, but besides Marvin Harrison Jr. that we're going to have to worry about on the defensive end. The Cardinals also have tight end McBride going, and he is having a really good season. He started to kind of break out of his shell last season, got himself put on the map there, and this season he's kind of picked up where he left off. So little slow getting out the gates. I think first game or two, he wasn't too productive. But now that we're halfway point of the season, he's firing all cylinders. He's looking really good. So he's probably going to finish as one of the top 5 tight ends this season. So granted, if he stays healthy. So, but let me know what you guys think. How are the Bears going to do today in the game? Do you see them coming out of Arizona with a victory? Or do you see an unfortunate loss, and the Bears extending their losing streak to 2 games? So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they can get back on the winning track. Like I said, if they want to make playoffs, and if Matt Eberflus, until this guy has a winning overall record, Matt Eberflus is going to be his name. So he needs this game as well. After the debacle that happened last week with the Hail Mary and the lack of focus that was on that team there towards the end of the game, he needs to have this team come out looking sharp. The last game coming out after a bye week, which is so fucking bizarre. You have a bye week. You had a shit ton of time to get ready for the last game, and they just came out flat. I mean, through 3 quarters, Caleb only had like 30-something yards passing, and then finally towards the end of that third quarter, the fourth quarter, the offense started to pick up. So hopefully they don't have the slow start that they've been having these pretty much the whole season. Every single game under Eberflus, like the offense cannot find any kind of rhythm, at least, with Shane Waldron. Last year was a little bit of a different story. It seemed like the Bears had a good first 10 to 15 plays to where they hit the ground running and everything kind of is working pretty well. And then after that, they had nothing. So this year it's been a little bit different to where the first drive or two is pretty flat. And then eventually they kind of, find their rhythm. So, but now that I am done talking here, let me go ahead and bring in my co-host here, get his thoughts on the situation as well, and see if he's ready to do some pregame tailgating with me this afternoon here. So since the Bears are in my hometown of Arizona, I am going to be going over there to the game, and hopefully this guy, Coach Chef, will be there with me.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you.
Yo, bar in full effect.
Yes, sir. I'll take that one on the top shelf. Just give me a little bit of
How you doing today, big homie?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I'm anxious. Like this is, I was saying earlier in the show, this is kind of a big game for us. I feel like it's kind of a playoff game, even though it's not a playoff game. But I feel it's a important game.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like when you, as an NFL team or a fan of an NFL team, you find yourself in a conundrum with a team that has the potential to be better, because for almost every week, after week 2, 3, after the loss to the Colts, every game this is a big week. This is a make or break week for the Bears. Like, only because the beginning, the first half of the schedule, was supposed to be based on last year's schedule and based on the opponent's current roster of schedules. It's supposed to be easier, but always reiterate, this is the NFL. Nothing is easy. I mean, yes, the Chiefs haven't lost, but they could. Shoot, the Ravens just lost to the Browns last week.
Yeah, who the hell saw that coming? You did? You call that one?
I didn't call it. I just thought that they would look better with Jameis. Obviously,
okay.
I mean, unfortunately, I thought that people. Just a quick segue. People always talk about Jameis's 30 interceptions. Jameis also threw 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards that year. People just forget that they throw at 30 interceptions, but he still threw for 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. But I digress. But back to our Bears. I think this is a big week because of how bad they've looked last week for three and a half quarters, 3 and a quarter or whatever. Like you said, Caleb had between 37 and 54 yards in 3 quarters. It was crazy.
Yes.
And then the breakdown in defense at the end of the game, breakdown in coaching, and in the game. I don't know, with the social media era at this phase of my life, win, lose, or draw, I kind of avoid all post-game podcast shows for the first day or two, because everyone's is hysteric about
their feelings.
in their feelings about how great the team is or how bad the team is. And then I try to wait. I usually wait till about Wednesday, unfortunately.
Okay.
Also being a dad and working Wednesday to kind of go through, okay, what are my thoughts about the game? What do I think? Do I have something quote unquote nuanced to say? And I don't know if I have anything nuanced to say about last week, but nothing went well at the end. The whole game looked bad. And like the defense looked good for 3.5 quarters or 3 3/4 quarters. The defense looked really good for 3 3 quarters, 3/4 of the game.
Yeah, practically the whole damn game. They held them to field goals the
whole damn game. And then the offense, just the last drive. And that's coaching and defense efficiency, as we always say. Oh crap! I got the other phone on watching us. I mean, it'll up our views.
Inflated.
What's that noise in my background?
About to tell your kids to be quiet. I'm on the damn show.
Right,
be quiet.
Right. But even I don't know. This has been a transition year for me with the whole move and everything. But I usually also watch kind of like I'll rewatch some of the interviews. But of course, I'm getting snippets of it on all these different shows. And the big thing I keep hearing is accountability, and I'm trying to figure out what accountability fans expect from coaching staffs. So I keep,
go ahead and finish.
I just feel it's an interesting idea, because how often do coaches really be like, that was a bad call by me, we shouldn't have done that? Usually coaches kind of be like, it's coach speak all the time, like, oh, I'm responsible, I stick by our call, I stick by our coaches. We've got to what's the word? Now I can't think, obviously it's early in the morning, I can't think of anything. How efficient, or we didn't they use these coded words, cliches. And I'm like, well, you wanted Matt Eberflus to say, we fucked up, we shouldn't have called the play to Kramer, we shouldn't have done this. Like, go listen to the other 30-some-9 teams. I know people are like, well, we don't care about the other 30-some. Like, what are these coaches who are taking so much great accountability for? They're going to be like, we've got to do better. We've got to line up and do what we're supposed to do. They're going to talk about protocol, and they're going to talk about the keys to the game, keys to the plays, reading our key. They're going to give you coach speak. They're not going to be like, we should not have done this play. Go watch the other coaches. Like, I don't think you're going to get that. I think what fans want is, you want the coaches to be above reproach, to be like, hey guys, we fucked up. And yes, I think he could have been more accountable in that factor, but he doubled down on the play before the play didn't matter. When schematically thinking, you got ripped because everyone said the same thing. And I know it's money quarterback, but you gave up. It was 70 yards to the end zone. Jalen Daniels was not throwing 70 yards to the air. You gave up 15 yards in 23 seconds. And then you rushed 3. You kept a spy. You didn't call any timeouts. Like, these things are starting to add up. And just some quick stats that I've been watching on other shows, TV, YouTube. Matt Eberflus' record versus 500 or better teams is like 3-17. When the Bears play an away game since he's been a coach on Sunday afternoon, they are 0-17. This Cardinals team is at 500, so even if they beat him today, it still would affect his record versus teams who are 500 or better. So for me, as a person who wants to believe in his ability as a head coach, but all these gaps, the Bears have 4 of the biggest collapses in Bears, like 4 of the top, say 10 to 15 collapses in the Bears history going into the fourth quarter, especially now with this ESPN percentage and probability. It's really like, everyone will say, oh, we knew he was a bad coach. Shut the fuck up. Every coach is bad when they're not winning games. Like, you don't have any insight. But the useful stats back up the fact that he has not been a good coach versus other good coaches, or when the game is when Vegas has the Bears either 50-50 or as the underdog.
Okay. Yes, I agree. So here's my take on the whole accountability thing here. And so just give me a minute here. So I get kind of what you're saying. I believe, like, I feel like the great coaches can realize when they fucked up in a moment and stuff. And yes, I get it, not coming out into the podium and being like, yeah, that was a dog shit play. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Like, I get that. But be a bit real with us here and being like, yeah, we have been working on that play. Clearly, we maybe need to work on it a bit more. And maybe the timing of that, calling that play at that moment wasn't right, but going forward, we're going to kind of learn, like, give me a little bit better, I guess, coach talk than that. And then just being like, no, I'll do that play over again. Yeah, no, we practiced it. So I'll just do it. No, I mean, the results, yeah, they weren't what we wanted them to be, but no, I think that was great. I think, like, it just sucked that what happened. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And here's the thing, like, when you talk like that, how in the hell can you grow from your mistakes? How the hell can you not look back on what happened in the games, the mistakes? Because clearly you do make mistakes. We're not perfect here. But if you're going to say, didn't make any mistakes, everything was good, just, the team was, made a better play or whatever, how the fuck are you going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, this is where we fucked up, guys. We need to work on this shit a bit more. That's where the accountability comes from. The shit with Tyreek Stevenson, I think he's been very undisciplined. The whole finger poking and shit got the flag early in the game. But even before this game, prior to this shit, past games, he's done shit like that where he's gotten in guys' face mask, but he hadn't gotten caught. The other guy gets caught retaliating against him, and then they get flagged. But that shit still should have been handled after the game, behind closed doors, saying, Tyreek, I love your fight. I get you're emotional and shit like that, and I love your spirit. We got to be smarter than that and not do the fucking face masking shit. I get you didn't get flagged this time. But don't let this become a fucking habit, because next time you may get caught, and he fucking did. And that's what killed me at the end of that last game. It's not like he was balling out, having a really good game. He was struggling. He had made some plays. Here and there, but he gave up that big ass play to Scary Terry, and some, did some other shit, and then the penalty and whatnot. So I mean, for him to not be focused. Hold on, I'm almost done. Not be focused at the end of the game. Not be focused. He's fucking around there. The guys are already running downfield, and it's little shit like that where I think the coaching staff, somebody on that coaching staff has to see, hey, coach, Tyreek's not even with the fucking guys there. He's still walking, like, call a fucking timeout, coach. Even shit like that, to where we didn't need the timeout. We were all in position. We all knew what. No, he wasn't, coach. He was fucking 50 yards away from, or 40 yards away from the other team. Like, clearly you needed to regroup, get your guys refocused, make sure everyone knows their assignments. But to double down and be like, nah, we didn't do that. Like, that shit is what's irking. And it's like, why can't you show a little bit of humility in that moment, at least at the end, to say, yeah, timeout may have helped get us refocused and stuff, instead of continuing to double down on, nah, I know what I'm doing, guys, and everything is working out more or less the way I planned. So I mean,
no,
so I'm
100%. No, in many aspects, you are 100% correct, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. You got on the fucking plane, as everyone has said, back to Chicago from the DMV with three fucking touchdowns. 3 timeouts in your pocket. At any point, doubling down to say, hey, are we good, guys? Hey, guys, give your team a breather. Like, yes, that's the thing that I was kind of getting to at the end of my little diatribe, was like, the decisions he makes in clutch time is to me is even more baffling, because this is year 3. Everyone's saying it's year 3. Oh, he's a horrible coach. He should have been fired. You scrap the team year 1. Year 2, there's some progress, but you have theoretically some games you should have won. But as me and you were together, we were watching the game.
Yeah,
we were watching the game.
Yeah.
And all I remember thinking, because we're at the place eating. I have a guy from out of town from Chicago who's watching the game with us. We're having a good time. And I just remember thinking, when they scored the touchdown, Caleb plays better in the fourth quarter, make some plays. Even the play calling on the touchdown call or the call before, like the defense is still bailing you out. The offense still looks like, why are we calling these type of plays quarterback draws? Remember, we was like, you called a quarterback draw on 3rd and fucking 5 with Caleb Williams? What?
Yes.
Like, and it is as the head coach.
I think it was back-to-back quarterback draws too.
It's those things, and that's that. Okay, then we got to talk about Shane Waldron. It's like, yes, you the head coach. I've only done it at the high school level. I've seen coaches. I've seen head coaches tell the OC, "Don't call that shit no more." I've seen them. I've seen them do it.
Right.
High school, college. Maybe I've more seen it at the semi-pro level, but I know coaches do that. Like you hearing a play call. Like you could be like, "Hey, no, we're not running that again." Hey Shane. Hey Shane. Hey, Swift is having a great game. Let's do something with Swift. Hey Shane, let's and I get you're the overseer of the organization, you're the face of the organization, and you're supposed to trust the guys who you have, especially your coaching staff, and you theoretically don't want to step on people's feet. But come on, bro. They called. I always say, bro, if I could call the play at home, in my experience at the highest level is Division II college and semi-pro, if I could pre-call the play call, if I could see it coming, I know these professionals see it coming. And yes, you have to execute. That's the word I was looking for earlier, was you have to execute. But sometimes if they see it coming, they gonna be where they supposed to be. And Caleb is he's a slightly above average quarterback athletically. But you call back-to-back draws, you call the play to Kramer, and theoretically, yes, even if Kramer gets the snap, they probably stuff it. If he scores, then it's come on, man. If he scores, let's be real as Bears fans, we go crazy. Oh my God, it's 1980,
so
just like the fridge. But I see what you're saying with the accountability and saying, hey, I trust Shane to make those plays. Maybe we need to rethink those situations when we're down by 5. Hey, we need to recalibrate some things. I'm not saying you throw the OC under the bus. I'm not saying you throw the players on the bus. Although you kind of throw the players on the bus, especially with Stevenson. Like, you got to be better. Or
the players kind of threw the coach under the bus.
Exactly, and that's the thing that's even more clear now. That this might not be the head coach for the Bears for the foreseeable future. And my thing is, I've always told people are so quick to put out, get rid of them, trade them, bench them. Like, come on, bro. Or you get fans in the thing. When I was in high school, if I ever did that, my coach would have sat that guy. Well, shut the fuck up. These are $1 million athletes. Right. Okay. If Tyreek gets benched, what's he getting benched for? A series?
He did.
A quarter? Like
it is stated that he's not starting the game. So that'll be interesting to see. Like you said, a quarter series.
I think our depth at corner is good. What I'm saying is that the expectations for what people believe, like being rational, I get it. Fan, fanatic, extreme, your ideas. Hey, cut this guy, trade this guy. Like, it's not Madden. You're not going to get a starting guard. You're not going to just like the things that people say in the sphere of online is even more blaring than back when we were watching football and all you had was ESPN, which run the 3-hour show, which they've still done, the whatever network the game is coming on. I know back home we used to watch Fox. Fox had a Bears show with Tom Waddle, and they would do the review. And you didn't really have nowhere to air your grievances. Right. I mean, unless you really had dial-up back in the day. What I'm saying is that
morning, Brandon.
The answers are not as easy as people think. They seem easy. Everything's easy when you're winning. If we were winning games, this idea that we could be undefeated, every team could say that unless you're getting blown out every game. It's the NFL. Most games, it's the reason why the bookmakers have most games within 3 points, because most NFL games are within a score. Because the NFL is the highest level of football in the world. That doesn't excuse extremely bad calling, doesn't excuse bad play, bad decisions. Tyreek Stevenson, but we got to have a sit down. I agree 100%. It's hard. If I'm playing with that guy, I love that guy. But I'm like, hey, bro, if I'm the safety or the opposite corner, if I'm Jalen, that's like, bro, we can't have that. Like you're affecting the game. Those penalties add up. Those penalties put us in bad positions to give up big plays. And it's too easy to say, oh, the defense will cover it up. At some point, the defense is going to meet the team, especially. Wait. Once somebody in the chat said, "Cut them."
So no. That was responding to me because the guy posted that Tyreek's going to be not starting. So, and I seem to be the only one that's like, okay, good. Like that's to me like you're holding him accountable. It's because I feel like you talked to him in the locker room enough. Like you've talked to him, at least you should have, to be like, yo, you need to get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, this should have been a conversation sometime this year about we look like you, just like you said. I completely agree. If I'm the DB coach, if I'm Flus, especially because he calls the defense, hey, Tyreek, we got to do better. We can't have these fuck ups in crucial moments. What were you thinking? How this affects the team? You're not in position. Your head's not in the game. Look, just hey, first two series, you go through the week, you go through walkthroughs. We're like, Tyreek, look, this has nothing to do with the media. This has to do with we want you to prove, or we want you to be more alert and do better to not hurt us as a team on the field. I'm gonna sit you the first 3 series. I'm gonna sit you the first quarter. We need you. You're such a crucial part of this defense.
Yeah,
you're a physical corner. You're an instinctive corner. You're the second best corner on the team, obviously to Jalen, and that's not any shade. Jalen's probably top 3 in the league. We want you to be out there, but if you're going to hurt us, you can't be out there. Obviously, point blank. I've been sat down for a quarter as a receiver for various reasons, not reasons like that. That's some shit I've never seen ever in my life. You've never been that brave to do that shit. Talking to the fans while the play going on, bro, with the time left, and then you late and you literally the play like that. All of that is theoretical.
As far as I understand, he was supposed to be the box out guy too.
He's supposed to be the box out guy. But if you listen to players, it was another player supposed to be on the field. Like nothing about that play. But then the play calling itself, you don't rush you don't rush the quarterback back to his non-dominant side. You give him 13 fucking seconds, bro. That is factually coaching. Not going to argue with you. We've got to do better. Giving up 15 yards to play before, and then he says, and I quote, that play doesn't matter. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yep.
That play back. You know why that play matters? Because now you allow him to throw the ball to the fucking goal line because he can't throw 70 fucking yards. You keep a spy. You don't even have your best defensive lineman in who may be hurt. Okay, I give you that. You don't rush more. You rush 5. I watched goddamn. Coach
Chef. When I heard that, this is what I thought.
Is the man retarded?
Just like how can you say that with the straight face and whatnot? Like
Rex Ryan
before that didn't matter. Like
Rex Ryan broke it down perfectly, and I'm thinking, hey Rex, it's the reason why you're not coaching now. But he was a winning coach for the bulk of his coaching career, and he's known for being one of the best defensive coordinators. Him and his brother, and he draws up the play. And then you go back and you watch other videos of teams who were in the same position of what they did. That same Sunday, I forgot the 2 teams. It was a Hail Mary situation, and they rushed 5. The Colts game. The Colts game essentially ended throwing a Hail Mary for Richardson. You see them rush 5. They overload his dominant arm side, so the right side, and they force him left to make it an awkward throw, and they sack him. And what did we do? We played contain with a spy, like he was going to run 50 yards. No, come on, bro.
It seemed like they were almost starting to do that because he was rolling out toward the sideline and then he came back towards the middle. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, no, I get it. And yes, you rushed, bro. Like you rushed 3.
I get that.
And then you have a spy like where he's running. Like I don't care nothing about the lateral plays. And when the crazy part is the more you watch it, you're like, bro, this was a bad play call. And you hold on to the timeouts. He's somebody. One of the accounts on the all 22 is him talking to Jalen on the play side. They're off 40 yards. Like when they scored, me and you was at Burgers and Brews with Alex. And I said, this game ain't over. It's 23 seconds. It's too much time.
Because he was getting celebrated. He was starting to be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm only 39 years old, but I've seen plenty of teams, including the Bears versus the fucking Falcons, when Matt Ryan was a rookie, go down in 11 seconds and win a game with a field goal. And the play, they gave up the 15 yards, and I was just like, Where's everybody at? Y'all just gave up the sideline. As an offensive player to get down, I need, if I have timeouts, the plays are vertical, middle, sideline. Because you got to go vertical, obviously get big plays. You got to get sideline to get out of bounds to stop the clock. And middle is where all the space is. People want to give that up. So if you have a timeout, you can be like, okay, if they give us the middle, we got to take deep middle, get down or get tackled, call timeout, get up or spike the ball. They give up the sideline play, which is a huge no. And then you say that play doesn't matter.
The guy gets to run out about and stuck the fuck.
Bro, nothing about. And then, bro, I promise you, y'all. I sat there and I'm the only person who didn't get up and walk out. And the whole time when they snapped the ball, I was just like, they rushed 3.
And
I'm like, when he ran to his right, I was like, bro, this is a lot of fucking time. And if it's a lot of time, that means you're letting guys get set up, because Hail Marys, I'm not gonna say they're 50-50, but bro, shit happens. That's why they're calling it the fucking miracle and whatever. It happens all the fucking time in football. Every year there's a Hail Mary.
Well, wouldn't say it happens all the time, but it happens enough to realize you don't.
What I'm saying, it happens every year. Every year there's 2 or 3 Hail Marys, 30, 40 plus yard plays at the end of a half, at the end of a game that make it so the whole, or even fans saying, oh, we're the laughing stock of the league. Man, every team, every year, the Cowboys been a laughing stock for 20 years because of how they operate. So like, get over it. Don't watch TV, okay? That shouldn't have happened, because you're not putting yourself in a position to win a game. And that's the thing that's starting to really bother me about Matt Eberflus. When it really matters,
he doesn't know
when it really matters, you're getting out coached. You're not being as accountable as you should be, even with coach speak. And you're putting the organization in a position to where we have to get rid of this man. We're going to have to fire another coach, bring in another coach with a rookie quarterback. This will be the third.
The cycle continues. I agree. I was talking about this with Nick last night and whatnot, and I was just like, it's so disheartening. It's kind of frustrating and shit, because like, if shit's not working out with Shane, like the offense isn't clicking or whatever, and we're talking about the win-loss record. That's what I was saying. I was like, I think Eberflus is back as long as he wins
9 games. 9.
I'd say about 8. He was thinking 9 too and stuff. But
I was saying 9 last. I said 9 games last year when I said 9 games because, but the team has to look good. You had a winning record. You have a winning record. It ain't like if he wins 8 games and you finish the year strong, but you've done that last year. Like, it has to be a minimum of 9. You got to go 9-8.
Yeah,
you don't go 9-8 with no major injuries, bro. You got to go.
And so that's what I was more or less talking to him. Like, I was thinking, like, if he only wins, 2 more games, and they get to 6 wins, which is, like I said, only 2 more games, he's definitely gone. And then same thing with Shane Waldron. And it's like, shit, now we're, like I said, the cycle continues again. We're going to get another coach that's coming in to work with the first year quarterback. The quarterback's going to have to learn another new system with the new offensive coordinator coming in. So, and it's just, like I said, the same bullshit that we did with Mitch Trubisky, with John Fox. And then the next year we fucking bring in Nagy. And then fucking Justin comes in and fucking fire Nagy the next year with another lame duck coach. And that's kind of almost what it feels like here. Like, Flus is a lame duck coach. He's shown already in the past that he doesn't know how to win these close games. He just fucking doesn't. Like, he gets tight. He
has not shown enough. Go wake your mother up.
Hell, he's barely shown that he can win games where, like, they have a decent lead. Because that fucking Broncos game last year, they had a pretty good lead there, and then he ended up fumbling that one. And I mean,
they had a double-digit lead. They had a double-digit lead in that game. They had a double-digit lead at Detroit versus a team who truth to matter, bro. This can't keep happening because we're still going against teams that have firepower.
So let's
go wake your mother up. The 10 o'clock is irrelevant.
So, anyways, here No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I mean, because
I gave you a little privacy.
it's 8:30. We supposed to no.
Yeah, no. The game's going to be starting any minute now. Like, come on, at least need to get up and get the wheels running.
We got to. So
but
before we get
into the, and then let's get into the Arizona game. Yeah.
So just to close out last week, these things can't keep happening, and that's not like I'm not going to be the fan. It better not happen. They can't, because that's not how winning teams operate. You can't be a successful organization, a successful team. We've been a borderline organization the entire. I always tell people the Bears are the definition of mediocrity. Go look at their historical record for 100 years with the definition of 500. Definition. Since 2000, we haven't been to the playoffs 10 times. 2000. It's 2024, by the way.
Yeah.
So to be such a historical franchise, we have these runs and these close calls. To build the consistency to be an organization that makes the playoffs even 12 times in 24 years, you've got to do better as an organization top to bottom. I ain't talking about Poles. Poles is the best GM we've had in 20-some odd years.
Yeah.
But the coaching staff, bro, the head coach he's the head coach. He's not just the DC, because guess what? You didn't hire him to run the defense, which he does a really good job. You hired him to run the team on the field and at practice. And I agree with people who are logically making those statements. If all he can do is just be the great defensive coordinator, but he can't make the offense better by saying, hey, Shane, we shouldn't call it. Hey, look, what are we running this week? Is this, do you have your first 15? People say, oh, Shane doesn't like the first 15 because, yard and distance. Bro. Where's the preparedness? None of this sounds good. The slow starts, 10, we are close to the end of the league in 10 points in the first quarter. The only team who has not scored a first quarter touchdown or any points in the first quarter are the Philadelphia fucking Eagles. Bro, this cannot go on if we're going to be 9-8 or 10-7. It can't.
Right.
It cannot.
I agree. I agree. They
and it can't if that man want to keep his job. And it can't if that man want to keep his job.
For real. And that's kind of, it's one of the double-edged swords there, because it's like, if he does win and gets to the 10 wins, as much as we're bitching about him, it's like, okay, they're not firing him. They're going to keep. I'm just hoping if that happens, that means he's hopefully turned over a new leaf and figured out how to close out games. But that just seems like such a fucking stretch, like just grasping here and stuff.
And as fans, we'll give you grace if you're not as talented as a team. We've been equally talented or more talented than we have. We're 4-3. We've been equally talented or better than 2 of the 3 teams we've lost to in situations where we shouldn't have lost based on a play call or decisions made, goal line offense and defensive calls at end of game. The Colts game, you shouldn't have lost because you went against a quarterback who just got benched. You could not throw consistently, and you have a whole sequence. I watched Brent, my man Brent. What's his name? Brent. He broke down offense, but we broke that shit because we was watching that game together. Like, you call speed ops, like, bro, you can't.
Yeah.
The whole these sequences, and Shane Waldron, who was supposed to get all this credit for the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle seems to be doing pretty solid without him. They're not great, pretty solid without him. And it's evident if he's the one calling the plays, because he's the OC, because he fucking is, and ain't it ain't the head the quarterback coach. It's him, bro. These plays in goal line and situationally have to get better. I ain't talking about they cute. I'm talking about these play calls are borderline trash. I'm not going to call it trash because they're still a professional, but still, this got to get better.
And part of that, like, just last point, like that the game, the play before the fumble or maybe the touchdown there, they got to the goal line. He did like a little fade to DJ Moore there, and it went incomplete, which ended up stopping the clock there too. Instead of just giving right from the get-go, just give it to.
Run the ball. So going
into the Arizona game real quick here. Yes. Whenever we're within the 10-yard line here, give Roschon Johnson the fucking ball. Take Swift out, or if you're going to want to have both of them in there, like maybe
I don't matter.
Swift,
It don't matter. Run the ball. Run the ball.
I would rather, like I said, within that 10-yard line, the goal line, I feel that's RJ time. That's Roschon Johnson time. That's
that
where
package.
that's where we need to get him in, Kramer in, fullback if you want to do that and shit like that or whatever.
Use all the tight ends you got.
Yes. So I am worried about the Cardinals game because the offense is scrappy. These last few games, like I was saying to start the show, they've been coming back to win. They haven't been rolling over like, oh, we're losing, we're down, let's pack it up, guys. They fight to the very end. So even if we're up 10, 14, I hope this coaching staff doesn't take the foot off the pedal thinking, okay, we're doing good here. We got this. Because if they do that, fucking Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner, Murray, before you know it, they're going to march right down the goddamn field and be in scoring range and whatnot.
They have enough. They have enough talent offensively.
They do. And here's the other thing that I've been thinking about here is as great as our defense is, and as much, as well as they've been playing, they are due for a bad game. There's every once in a while, like throughout the season, like shit just doesn't fucking work out for you on defense, whether the ball doesn't break your way, tip wise, you maybe miscommunication between, players or whatnot, didn't hit the right gap. Correct. So we've been holding them under 21 points and we all been happy. Eventually that shit's going to break. Eventually they're going to hit a team and that's going to bust over that. And they're going to they're due for a bad game.
The Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, anybody, because it's the NFL. You damn right.
Yeah. So I think this week it's very well within the realm of possibilities, just because, we don't play well on the road, obviously.
Not under Eberflus.
Right. The Cardinals, are playing really good. They're feeling good about themselves. They have a few comeback wins, especially one of them was against San Francisco, the division opponent. So even though they don't necessarily have a winning record, they're feeling good about themselves, and they know they're right in the playoff hunt as well. They know this game is crucial for them if they want to make the fucking playoffs. They can't look back and be in a tiebreaker situation record-wise with us, and then that tiebreaker is going to go to us because they lost to us. It's like that's where we're both fighting for that 7th seed there. If we're truly trying to make the playoffs, I think we would make it as a 7th seed, and that same thing with the Cardinals.
Right. You're right, and we still haven't gotten to any division play with our own division. So, you like since the Vikings have been good, you're like, man, we might have to go 500, and we got to go 3-3 just to because every team is so good. You got the Lions who are wrecking shop. Like we could talk all this shit about the Lions suck. The Lions don't suck no more. They don't.
No,
they do not suck. The
They're biting off kneecaps.
Fuck kneecaps.
They're taking it by the thigh now.
They're biting heads off. They are biting the heads off of snakes. They're doing the thing the head coach of mine said that I believe. When you're better than a team, you leave no doubt. You put your foot on their throat, you end it. You don't give teams chances, and then you can do what the hell you want. They out here doing D tackle trick plays, throwbacks and shit, beating the hell out of the Cowboys, bro. You need to be ramping up to play the teams in your division who can put up points and who defenses maybe are not as equal, but this is not going to be a cakewalk. This literally is the best division in football. You have to be prepping for this. This cannot go on. The Cardinals are not to be trifled with because they're 4-4. They got an outstanding tight end. They've got a really solid receiving crew. They have a solid running back who's under, low key. He's probably a top 8 to 10 running back the past several years, and James Conner, when he's healthy, he can catch it, he can run it, he runs downhill, he runs hard. He's the goal line back. He had double-digit touchdowns, I think, 2 years in a row. I think he almost 13 to 15 touchdowns 2 years ago before Kyler tore his knee up. You got Kyler, who's athletic, who can throw the ball deep, intermediate. You can talk about whatever you want with his height. He's not average. I would say he's above average. He's just as athletic as a Jaden Daniels, even after the ACL. This team, this is not a cakewalk. This ain't a cakewalk today. I mean, it's the
So
NFL, no game's a cakewalk. But like, if you don't
the Bears,
convincingly come out and start fast, this team can jump on you. And if you're down, this team has not shown that they've shown they can come back. But we don't know what the break line is for points that the Bears have to score when they're down. We don't know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
do you and as everyone's been saying in social media for the past couple years, you can fuck around and find out.
Yeah, and so that was part of, like, I guess the one encouraging thing to see out of Caleb is he did lead the team down the last few drives to get a score and then get ahead. So it was looking like we were going to see a come from behind victory led by our quarterback, which is something that we've been dying to see. We were waiting to see that with the last QB, and it just never happened. So we were all like hyped and like, here we go. Like, finally, we're going to get to see something that we haven't seen in fucking like years, and then, it happens how it happens. So hopefully we don't have that same situation here. But I agree what you're saying. I think it's scary to think that if the Bears are down like 14, 17 points, if they're even going to be able to come back from that. And it's not because of I don't trust the QB or I don't think he's
the talent,
the guy,
right?
Or the talent, correct. It's I don't think Shane Waldron knows how to get his own fucking way. I mean, you can't wait
till the fourth quarter to come back every damn game, bro. We ain't there yet. We ain't there as a team yet. We ain't there as an offensive. Not with this rookie. Yes, we want Caleb to do Caleb shit, but how about we win by being on time? Being on time, which means without him always having to scramble and the athletic quarterback. Then guess what? Jalen didn't look bad last week, and yes, he scrambled a little bit, and they took some RPOs out. But guess what? He was throwing on time. He was throwing routes on time. It wasn't just all athleticism. And Caleb coming back in the second half, a lot of it, especially in the fourth quarter, was a lot of extending plays, catching guys wide open. To be successful, you got to score points being on time. Everything can't be a fucking. I want to say something so controversial. It can't be a Chinese fire drill.
I was going to say backyard football, but yeah,
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. You can't just be pulling shit out of your ass every
Adam
single
Sandler,
time.
Let's do some backyard bullshit. You can't do that. It's not sustainable. You got to play.
Is that the biggest key for the Bears getting a victory or coming out of Arizona, is just starting this game fast? Like, what is it going to take for the Bears to, get out of Arizona and get back on the winning track there?
Turnovers. We haven't had a big bite of turnovers. The last week we did. I don't think they turned the ball over.
Get a turnover
last week. No turnovers, so you got to turn the ball over offensively. You ain't got to come out like gangbusters and score 21 points in the first quarter, but this opening drive has to end in the field goal. I say has. The first two drives need to end in points. You can't leave the first quarter without scoring points. If look, it's football. Bears have a really, really, really good defense, but hey, you might have a break in coverage like we just talked about. It might be a slip and fall. Somebody might break a tackle. These are professionals. James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jalen is great cornerback, but you might get beat because guess what? Everyone gets got sometimes. With my man Beast Mode say, everybody get got. I'm gonna get mine more than you catch me, or he has a phrase on the podcast, whatever.
More or less.
Everyone get got. It's the NFL. Everyone ain't 50 and old like Floyd.
Yeah.
But exactly.
Yeah.
So you're trying to mitigate those big mistakes, but you've got to start better as an offense. You ain't making the playoffs, bro. Not scoring, being at the bottom of the league in first quarter points. Right. First quarter, 3 and outs. Yes, we have a good punter. He's still a rookie. Like, you've got to start faster. To play the first 15, the first 10, the first sequence of plays need to be more advantageous of settling Caleb down, because he does have a problem settling down in the first quarter. He definitely has a problem settling down in the first quarter in away games we've seen. Like, his throws have been extremely inaccurate in the first quarter, the first couple drives, overthrowing, throwing almost pick sixes. He doesn't typically. Yeah. He hasn't looked good in the first couple drives for the away games. He's still a rookie. He's very talented. Obviously, I'm behind him 100%. But you got to look better in these first quarters. You have to. It's a must. You have to build to playing better teams in your division. So it has to be a must that you come out stronger. It ain't got to be touchdowns. It got to be moving the ball, getting first downs, putting yourself in position to get points.
I agree. I think Caleb, I think the key for him is to get him comfortable and in rhythm. And if they can start doing some quick passes or just some quick plays to DJ, I want them to get DJ and Cole Kmet involved early in the game.
No tight end screens.
No tight end screens, but like get them involved. To get Caleb comfortable in the flow, get a few first downs and stuff. We can't have 3 and outs, the first quarter. So the running game still needs to be good. Hopefully the offensive line is healthy enough to where they can open up some holes. I mean, that kind of kicked our ass last week.
Do you have the projected offensive lines starting O-line this week? Based on is Amagaji's out,
Braxton Jones, I believe.
Braxton Jones is out. So is Borum starting at tackle? Do you have, because I know you might be. I did
not see that. I haven't seen that. Like I said, besides the ones that recently or came out the other day as far as injury report and whatnot, I haven't seen an updated version of what's going on today. So it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see who's healthy, who can make the starting lineup here. And like I said, the getting Caleb comfortable, getting Cole Kmet and DJ more involved, because I just don't want to see DJ just shovel down the sideline and kind of being like, damn, when am I getting the damn ball? Like the more he's not active in the offensive game plan, it feels like he just slowly starts to, I don't want to say check out, but just kind of like
the frustration builds.
Yeah,
it does. As a receiver,
you can see it on the sideline.
As the best receiver in the game on your team. Excuse me.
Just got paid.
Hey, you just got paid. Hey, give me a quick slant. Give me a end around. End around. Get me involved early. Let's get the guys involved here. Hey, it's going to sound real rudimentary. Hey, it don't have to be something, get Kmet in a play where, you have them check block with a quick tight end pop or tight end out. Like get those guys, get some easy throws. You don't have to go vertical. Get some easy throws. Let's get some draws. Let's get some plays where you kind of show some creativity and formation, which he's starting to kind of show. Is make these plays look fluid and make sense. Hey, they might not all be successful, obviously, but let's be like, okay, I can see what you were doing on that play. It didn't work this time. You ain't got to go goddamn what's my man's name? Bruce Arians, risk it, no biscuit, because they ain't been throwing a vertical ball good. Let's get some quick slants. Let's get some check slants. Let's get some bubble screens where the blocking, where you don't have a 5'10" receiver blocking a 260-pound defensive end on the goal line. Come on, man. Just make it make sense to everybody, even for us dumb fans who don't know no better. We don't know shit, but I know what I don't want. I know I don't want see a goddamn tight end screen to your backup tight end, and you got 2 5'10" receivers blocking. I don't want to see that shit,
bro. So going back to that play, seeing that play there with DeAndre Carter, where he tried to make that block at the goal line,
even he knew it. He was like, I don't know what you
he did. I love that. He went to the sideline. I could hear him saying in the sideline, like, why the fuck do you got me blocking this shit? Like, why do you got me here? Like, he's putting his hands on the sideline, like, what are we doing here? You got me fucking blocking this big ass motherfucker. Like, did you forget how much I weigh and how tall I am? Like, you think I'm gonna fucking like
putting players
how did this work out
in positions, putting players in position based on their abilities to be successful. And it has been not more times than not. The times that he doesn't do it based on play calling, it's so evident. It's so evident.
So real quick before we get into score predictions, we're coming towards the end of it. I did want to ask you real quick with Tyreek Stevenson. Like I said, it looks like he's not going to be starting. How long do you see it? Like, just guesstimate. What are you thinking? Do you think this is just, hey, you're not starting the first series, but you're going to be back? Do you think this is a 1 quarter sitting? one half? Do you know, or is this depending on how well Terrell Smith plays? If he's balling and playing good, say Terrell Smith gets a interception, the first drive or, whatnot, or makes a big play. Is it kind of one of those things where it's like, you know what, Stevenson, why don't you stay there and let's let Smith, kind of see what he can do? Or do you think they just have it set, he's going to be out for a series or whatever?
I mean, if Terrell Stevenson has an opening quarter pick, I mean, that'd be great. I would envision for your starting cornerback, especially your starting quarterback who's been the starting quarterback better part of a year and a half, even though him and Terrell as rookies, they were kind of going back and forth when they were really young. I think you sit him for the first, if the first quarter only ends up being 2 drives in first quarter, I would say the first 2 to 3 drives. First 2 or 3 drives, he sits. You get to Terrell, obviously our depth, but we still have a lot of injuries secondarily. Tyreek is not a slot corner. So even if Terrell Smith does good, I mean, based on that, your depth is going to be kind of wavering on who plays slot when you're going against those 3 receiver sets and everything. So I believe you don't sit them. I'm not saying you sit them for the whole half game, but you definitely got to sit them. If that's the decision you're going to make to sit them, first 3 drives, maybe that's the whole first quarter, maybe, but I would say the first 3 drives.
Do you maybe feel uneasy or uncomfortable doing that if Kyler Gordon's not starting or playing, I should say, if he's not active this game, or does that affect anything as far as how much you kind of play with that situation? Or
not really. You got Blackman, you got the other Jalen Jones. You have guys who have shown. You have guys who have shown they can play in the secondary. I've been saying it. The deepest position on the Bears is defensive back, from cornerback to safeties. Brisker's out another week, so you can schematically plan. I mean, we play fucking cover 2 predominantly anyway. You don't blitz a whole lot. You rush 4. If you coach them up right and you execute, the guys know what they're doing. They've shown that they can play. Blackwell had a pick in London. Yeah. Terrell has played well. The front 7 is solid. Hopefully Sweat can play today, but obviously,
that's going to be big.
If the sentiment is to bench him, then you're not that worried. I mean,
okay,
got it. Yeah, it looks bad if Terrell gets bombed the first play. It does, but
no, it will.
It's not typical. He ain't been bombed the first play. He ain't been getting beat deep. So, I mean, it'll always be some secondary shit when something bad happens. I knew we shouldn't. If God forbid it happens, that'll be the first thing fans say. We shouldn't have benched him. We should have let him play. Like,
I could hear that.
No,
I never. See that for sure.
We are never happy with the results when things are not as cookie cutter and Care Bear stare looking dead in your damn face. You don't expect it. The trend is you're not going to get beat deep based on this, how the defense plays. Guys doing their job. It's not willing, but yeah, if you're going to bench him, you bench him the first 3. I say the first 3 series of the game.
Okay.
Also, if he shows any inclination of having a breakdown, if I'm the safety, especially if I'm the safety or linebacker, and Stevenson is having one of those moments in the game where he's doing that extra shit, like, bro, we just went through this shit last week. Hey, Flus, get him out of here for a couple plays. Come get him. Shit,
that's Kevin Bird to be able to do that.
Bird or the linebackers. The linebackers, if y'all seeing something or hearing something, if Caleb said it. Some of the best teams, some of the great teams are led by the leaders on the field. If your players can't be like, hey, fuck this shit, timeout. Hey, we got to get this shit together.
Right. Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't happen. I'm surprised it didn't happen in the goddamn. Now that I think about it more, I'm madder. I'm getting madder now a week after. Did no one call timeout before the last play of the last game? Because like the players, none of the safeties was hey, what the fuck is?
Yo, we're missing a man here. Where's 29 at? Yeah.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Timeout. Like if the players can't call timeout and only the goddamn coach can call timeout, we also got problems with that too. That's problematic.
Score predictions. in the chat. Let us know your score predictions.
Lord,
Coach Chef.
We are early based on
yes.
Based on the game starting 3:25 Central, which was at 1:25 our time. This is your hometown.
2:05.
2:05?
2 o'clock is game time. 2:05 because now the daylight, it's kind of like the time shift now. So games start at 11 o'clock now.
Wait. Daylight
now.
See, Arizona.
That's the Arizona
Phoenix. Fucking Phoenix. Fucking Phoenix.
Wait,
daylight saving time has already happened everywhere else but here.
Correct. Like it doesn't. Yeah.
Was it today? Was it today or was it last Sunday? Was it today?
I don't know.
It's always on a Sunday.
Sometime this week. It was sometime this week. It was
it's always on a Sunday.
Today. Okay, so it was
okay.
Today then.
Today, okay.
Today's the first week where we have 11 o'clock games, and the noon games instead of 1 o'clock are now 2 o'clock. The Sunday night game instead of 5 o'clock is now at 6 o'clock. So everything gets pushed back an hour. The Monday night game gets pushed back an hour. So
I was just getting used to this shit. I'm just getting used to these fucking times.
You're gonna have to get used to this now of midweek during the season.
There's gonna be three quarters of this state does not do daylight saving times outside of the Apache Nation.
Yes.
Okay.
Score predictions. That's good.
Okay, so we were wrong last week. We were wrong on the over under. Me and Amp. We were wrong on the money line. We were wrong on the spread. No, we weren't wrong on the spread because we took the Bears. We took the Bears, so we were wrong on all fronts, and they definitely didn't get to 47.5. It was a very low scoring game. It's nicer weather here. It's warmer. I think it's going to be in the mid 70s to low 80s, I believe.
Slight chance of rain, just to
hey, those who are watching who are not living in Arizona like we are, it rained last night, and guess what? When it rains here, it stinks because there's no grass. No, just asphalt and dirt. Sand and rock
and dirt,
dirt. I think I'm in my feelings. I have the Bears losing today. They have to prove to me that this.
Come on, man.
I think that I need as a Bears fan for the coaching staff to prove that they can win an away game versus not an above 500 team, but an ascending team with talent like the Cardinals have, who have beat the Rams, even though the Bears have beat the Rams. But the Cardinals, we both have it. When the Bears beat the Rams, they weren't 100%. I have the Bears losing. So based on my decision, because my decision is different how I would bet, because I would still take the Bears point spread 1.5 plus 1.5. I would take the money line on the Bears, and I guess I take the under, but I want to take the over. I take the over. 44.5 is the over under Bears Cardinals. I would take the over. That's okay. I would take the over. I would take the Bears being the underdog by 1.5, which means they either have to lose by less than 2 points or win outright. And I would take that. I'm not fucking with the money line today because I'm not fucking with the money line because I got the Bears losing 23-17.
Okay. All right.
Prove to me, Eberflus. Prove to this one fan out of millions that you can be the coach for the Bears. I hate being that guy, but that's how fans do. You got to prove it to me. You got to prove it to me, Eberflus. Like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck am I?
Yo,
but as a team, they got to prove that they can win this game. It starts with Eberflus, Shane Waldron, and then the players. They got to prove that they can pull a game out like this.
I agree. Eberflus, step your game up. Seriously, quit being outcoached. Quit fucking not knowing when to use your fucking challenges. The guy still doesn't know when timeouts, doesn't know when to call the challenge properly. Like his percentage rate on calling challenges is fucking atrocious. Like it's just so fucking bad. So
if you get outcoached by Gannon, they're essentially they're almost quote unquote, they might be the same type of coach. Defensive coaches, not that much experience being head coaches, even though Eberflus is in year 3. But the Cardinals head coach is a defensive guy. He's not an offensive guy. I mean, they're 4-4. I don't know how much of him playing a role in that because their defense is not. They're not world beaters. Although they've come up big and they come up big in spots because in key moments. Just I'm sorry before you give me your just to give the idea of how good the Cardinals are. So you're right. Defense yards given up their 27th, points given up their 24th. So you should score. Versus the pass.
But we thought that last week against the Washington team. I
think Washington's was better. I did think that they would score more.
The yardage though, they were predicted. You know what I mean? It's yards and
that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah. In yards given up, the Cardinals are 26th in the league. In touchdowns, they're 17th. In rushing, they're 26th. So they're literally a bottom quarter team in defense.
Yeah. There should be some scoring. If nothing else, this game should be entertaining. But I do unfortunately agree with you, Chef. I do see this as a Bears loss. I picked them to lose this game at the beginning of the season.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
I mean, I don't feel comfortable saying that at all. I wish I could say that they're going to, smack the shit out of the Cardinals.
They beat Miami by a point, 28-27 last week. They beat the Chargers by 17-15. They got the brakes beat off them by the Packers 34-13. So
yes, so that's like I said, they're in more or less all these games. The Packers game is the only game where they really got fucking manhandled.
No, I'm sorry. It was also the Washington game. Washington beat them 42-14.
Okay.
And yeah.
So, but anyways, I see the Bears unfortunately losing this game. I'm a Bears fan, but I think we're going to get let down 14-27 Cardinals. Yeah, that's a fair score. So
yo, Drew, what's good? So
friend of yours.
My cousin's husband, that's my cousin too, by marriage, but that's my cousin, Andrew Cunningham. He's out here to watch the game. He got a homeboy out here. Hopefully we can meet up with him pre-game before he goes. I think they're going to the game today. But he's in town. So we got some people in town. We got T-Nick in town, my man Andrew. I know the family, we get to check out with him. I know the family, we're happy to see him. Thank you for watching the show today. But hopefully we see you today. But yeah, I agree. I don't agree with the score, but I can, yeah.
So unfortunately, I do see us losing this game. I think the final score, unfortunately, it's going to be a 24-28 loss. So I think, like I said, that's 21 point holding our opponents there. This might be the week. I think it's a good week where, unfortunately, that does break, and we unfortunately do not come away with the victory. So Bears, for the love of God, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. So when we come here Tuesday, we all have egg on our face and being like, yeah, maybe we should have,
I would love to have egg on my face with the Bears win.
Yes, Eberflus, like you said, you need to start winning road games. You need to start changing that record. You can't keep adding losses to that column there. You need to start fucking putting some wins into your coaching record there to kind of justify us keeping you and shit. And then, like I said, Shane, like I said, I don't know what it's going to take for him to figure out. I'm surprised. I said this at the beginning of the year that I'm hoping that this offense coordinator, that the Bears had at least 5, maybe 6 plays in their offensive playbook where they're like, we run these plays perfect to a fucking team, even if the team knows that it's coming. You don't think people don't know
right? We execute better than you execute with this play.
Coming? Correct.
Right.
I was hoping with this new, give me at least 5 of those plays where it's like we run this shit so good, even though you know what's coming, we still
can't stop it.
You can't stop it. He doesn't have any of that shit in his playbook right now. I don't see. Okay, this is a really go-to play, except for that fucking goal line with Kramer being the mini fridge. That's about the only thing that seems to be consistent.
And that didn't look good because of that's a whole nother story. Execution on that play.
We talked about it. We know that, I'm sure they practiced it, but still at the same time, how long have they practiced that with the offensive lineman taking that? Maybe you practiced that for a week or two. Maybe you've been practicing this
all
for
season,
3 weeks or
whatever they put the
even,
package in. But yeah, you're right.
Even all season, I would the fullback would have been better. The real fullback, Blasingame. I'm sure
We don't have one of those anymore. We don't have. Yes, he has. Kramer has never carried a football a day in his life. That man has been a career lineman from birth until now.
Before that cut, you had a fullback who had taken handoffs like that and would be more comfortable taking a fucking handoff like that at the goal line instead of a fucking offensive lineman with fucking rubber pads on his goddamn arms and shit like that. So
that's old school, dog. It's old school.
Yeah, I guess no one's gonna pull his arm hairs that way. I guess I don't know, but anyways, thank you all for joining us. We're gonna wrap this up. We're already fucking dragging on a bit longer than normal. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Please hit that like button. Please share us, Coach Chef.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say?
Hit us with the HBO special. Help a brother out. Help the brothers out. If you're watching, hit the like button. We really love to expand more for this show and for this network. Please be on the lookout for more shows from this network. Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, Chicago Clubhouse Network, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. There you go. Commish is real great. He's just like a millennial now. He's big on the TikTok after the game. I ain't gotten there yet. I'm still old man. Old man.
You'll get there.
But I also, just because we're in the NFC, Detroit plays at Green Bay today, so we got to look out for that. I don't know how. I'm sorry. Go Lions. Yeah. That'll make them. They are 6-0. That'll make them 7-0. But go Lions. Nothing in this world makes me happier than a Bears win and a Packers loss. Nothing in this world. Even my children smiling or a Packers loss. I'm going to go Packers loss.
Well, by an edge. I mean, they were close. It wasn't. I'll give it to my kids. It was a close one, but still.
If they lose and then my child smiles, there you go, because they lost. And then Minnesota plays Indianapolis today. You better watch out, Minnesota. Jim Flacco will pull one of them Flaccos on your ass. So go Indy. Yeah. So that's your quick NFC Central wrap up. The slate games that obviously people are going to be on the lookout. Hey, if it's also for our betting people, whatever the over under is for all purpose yards on Swift, he's been exceeding it the past 4 weeks. He's definitely top 3 in the league in all purpose yards for running backs. I would definitely go with the plus. I would go plus 80 yards. I would go plus 25, 30 yards receiving. Might even go with a touchdown, because I mean that's kind of been a given the last 4 weeks with Swift, since he had an extremely slow start and I released him in one of my fantasy leagues.
You got bad advice on that one, though, I guess. I don't know.
No.
No. But anyways, guys, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Like I said, please hit the like. TikTok, help us grow there. Follow us there. Once we get to 1,000 followers on TikTok, that gives us another avenue to stream from. Gives us more ways to reach out to our lovely Bears fans, because there's a shit ton of y'all.
Wait, is this 1,000 subscribers? If we get to 1,000 subscribers, I promise I will do a TikTok.
There we go. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers so we can have Coach Chef do a fucking TikTok dance or shuffle or something. See, he's practicing already. I love it. There's the clone. Oh man, I didn't think we'd see the cloud today. That's awesome, man.
Is bear.
Hey, wow, you are a bear.
Goal line. After they score a touchdown, they do that. Yeah, I'm cool with that or whatever.
Oh Lord!
So, but like I said, once we get to 1,000 followers on YouTube, or I'm sorry, TikTok gives us a chance to stream there, and then on YouTube, we've been stuck at like 1,600 followers there. Help us get to 2,000. That's our goal. We want to get to 2,000 fucking subscribers there on TikTok.
We're tailgating. We're gonna do some recruiting today as we tailgate.
For sure. There will be a lot of Bears fans there to tailgate and talk to. Plus a lot of
let's take over Glendale, Chicago. Let's go, Chicago.
do
Let's
it.
take over Glendale.
Do it.
Bears fans, let's take over Glendale today. Westgate. Let's take it over.
If anyone's going to be down there, look for Coach Chef. Look for myself. I'll be wearing my Crooked Commish jersey, so it's kind of the only one that's going to be wearing something like that. So
look at me. Look at me. Look at me. In my stern face with my hair, 6'2" with dreads, who looks like, hey, I might get that. You look like Larry Fitzgerald. you look like
oh man,
ain't nothing. I'm
Bro,
sorry, ain't nothing like a drunk white dude. Ain't nothing like a drunk. Ain't nothing like a drunk white dude at a bar telling me I look like another football player in the NFL with dreads. Boy, I didn't got Peanut Tillman back at home, bro. Drunk white dudes in Chicago was like, you look a lot like Peanut Tillman. I do? You sure?
I do.
I think it's, you sure? It's the hair. It's the hair. It's the hair. But yeah, be on the lookout for me yelling at my kids. Hey, get your ass. Get your ass. Where you think you're going? In my dad voice.
Right.
Yeah, we'd be out there.
Again, hit that like button.
The family will be out there.
We'll see you out there. Absolutely, guys. Remember to either be safe and be good, or damn it, at least be good at it.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
And now it's all over.